G'day everybody. I want to talk about fat and skinny. Who deserves it? Who's a lucky bitch? And all that kind of stuff. And envy against it. It's good to be this fat. I got chunk in the trunk. We'll talk about that. All these things I've been here. And just put my debate in, as in debunking that area. You've got more to say, come and see me. Don't make me repeat myself, kind of thing. Right? Now, when it comes to fat people, skinny people, there's many ways of being fat and skinny. Right? To get fat, usually you're eating too much than what you're putting out, than what you're burning, or you're eating the wrong foods. Are the two main top, or you're doing both, which is even worse, so you get fat real quick. Right? Are the main reasons why people get fat. But then we have metabolisms, what you're born with, right? And taste bugs. Some people can't control their taste buds. Like they go, they so nice. There's more that want to eat more than others. So you have these traits as well as the actual science of what happens when you do these things, which we want to talk about. And so when you have a high, you can get these things, find out if you've got a problem, you can get tested. When you have a high metabolism, that means you can eat maybe twice as much as someone else, or 1.5, or 3 times even. Depends on how high your metabolism. In some cases, some people's metabolism is so high, he's constantly skinny and he's got to eat every day and stuff like that. And there's another dude that can't even gain weight and he's got to eat every day. It's a little bit similar to that if you go overboard in either way. And so you don't want too high. You want a metabolism where you gain weight and you can have enough to eat to burn and not have to have lots of, because a high metabolism means you need more energy to burn. And animals are like that. You can find out which animals have high metabolism, which can burn energy quick and stuff like that, like dogs and cats and certain things like that. And so when it comes to when someone's skinny, it can be a medical reason. So someone can get fat or skinny for medical reasons. So skinny one is, they don't eat as they got a medical condition where they believe they eat and all that, which is anorexia. They'll become skinny. Then there's those people that if they eat, they can't gain with the metabolism, right? So they eat a lot, but they're high metabolism, so they don't gain much. Or they have stomach issues, and can't break it down like CF has and stuff like that. And then you just have people who just don't eat that much or eat what they burn what they eat, sorry. So their diet's right, or they just burn that energy, right? And they need a high sugar energy and stuff like that. Depends on what job they're doing. But if you're sitting around, you don't do much, you're an office worker, you physically don't lift things that need a lot of energy or move quickly a lot or anything like that, then you need to have like to eat a healthy diet, or you don't need to eat much. You can learn your gut to shrink to get to a certain size and just not eat much, right? You can even eat some fattier certain foods, so you can even eat less, or healthier foods so you can eat more, right? And so you are what you put out in the end. And then when it comes to people who have a low metabolism or some issue where they gain weight more easier or can't digest better, sorry, I'm on to the fats now, they can gain weight, right? And so in small cases, some people have weight issues because of that. And you can have weight issues also with with a problem, which is a mental issue of using food as when you're depressed. Like Fat Bastard. I'm depressed because I eat, and I eat because I'm depressed. He's stuck in a cycle. And there's actually a lot of them out there when you watch fat shows and people losing weight, and they show you how much they eat and what they do, and they're sitting around and they get fat and they get stuck in a cycle, and then they eat and they stretch their stomach. When you stretch your stomach, you believe you need more to feel full, right? But you don't. And you're just shitting a lot of that out or putting it onto your body. That's the true fact of that, right? And then there's some people can have issues. And the only way to find out about that's why you shouldn't pick on people straight away, is to find out what it is. Once you found out if they've got no issues and all these kind of things, then in a way, if you want to talk about picking on people or at least mention it and go, well, yeah, what you put out, then you can mention that to them. And that's what family and loved ones do to people all the time. You have constant fights about that, don't they, Emma? As they know, and they can fight and debate that better, right? But people that don't, well, they're just assuming, and they might get themselves into trouble by picking on people when they shouldn't pick on them, right? As they might have a current issue and they're trying, and it's not their fault, right? But when you just go with the being lazy too much, having the wrong diet and a lot of other things, which is the most case, they're mostly fat because of those certain things or all of the above. They eat too much of what they do. They don't exercise much, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, right? And it all just adds up. Right? There was another part I was trying to get to before I forgot. Oh, now the pick on part. Now we'll just get on to that. So people pick on people, and then people go, well, then there's propaganda when it comes to every side. So some people go, well, anorexic people, they should just stop and just get better. They'll see that as in the pick-ons will see a problem that's an easy fix for them, as they don't understand what anorexia is and how it affects the brain. Right? And so people go, well, they're just skinny, they're getting attention just because they're not eating. They're just not eating, that kind of thing. And yet anorexia is a true thing, and there is scammers. There's always scammers because that's just a human high trait of copying and trying to be like someone else. Like when someone else is sick and get a day off, you might see a kid play a sickie to try to get a day off too. That's copying. Right? So when it comes to people that bully people, it's just immature in the end, or uneducated, right? Until they get to that part, or they're just trying to be cool around people. We also do that. Right? Or trying to be like a Black Lives Matter kind of thing where they believe it's their turn as they got bullied as well. Right? But other than that, it could all be pretty debunked, and we need people to talk about that a lot and to make that cool so it can be debunked easier. Right? Otherwise, if people don't talk about it so much, let things go, bypass it, and all these kind of things, you'll see these things continue and continue. Right? As we allow these propagandas, which I can talk about now. And propaganda is where you hear songs about people going, it's good to be fat. It's excellent. I feel great. My life is good. My booty swing, booty swing, my fat's got me this song. That's all right. That's cool. Sometimes that can happen. And that song can... the fuck says that? Oh, they're doing all different songs. I'll put them together, all right? You let me know in comments, people. But you find something for us.
It's crazy because I don't want to be fat.
And they're pretty much saying fat's a good thing. But in a way, it's good that you can look up to what you are now, right? And being high vibe, I understand all that. But going, it's better to be big booty, more for the push and more for the... Yeah, well, it's not in the end. And, yeah, you got those traits. You got some good traits, but there's more bad. A lot more. Yeah. And so, in the end, you're just fighting against each other with propagandas and sounds cool at the time kind of thing, right? And that's what teenagers will always do. But when you see adults do that kind of thing and bullying and that, you want to laugh at it and go, it's immaturity. Right? And so when it comes to skinny people, you don't go, oh, she's lucky, she's a skinny bitch. She doesn't have to put up with this and that. Like a fat person will say, well, you earn it. Right? So a skinny person will be skinny, or they could be lucky, very rare, that they've got disease and high metabolism and stuff like that helps them, which is a little bit like me. Certain stages, I can't break down fat, and I also have I can burn energy pretty quick, right? And so it's hard for me to gain weight because my problems already have. Besides already having a good diet and stuff like that, and knowing how to eat properly, and having a small stomach, right? So that helps. Having all that gives me an upper hand, and to keep it where I am. And if you overdo that, then when you stretch your stomach and it goes the other way, but you get to a point where it's so hard to get back, as you're already stuck in that upper hand of eat, hardly do nothing kind of thing. Right? And so when I hear those arguments, you just want to do that these days, isn't it? Okay, immature idiots. But yet they make songs off it, make money, as they propaganda it to the young that it is cool while they're saying it, but it's not really cool. In a time and an era and in certain moments it is, but it's very rare. But if you propaganda too much, you might find that people might think it is cool and do it more often, right? And accept it more often as they believe it's an all right, cooler thing. And yeah, we're the fat crew, well, and we're making it look good, right? Well, you can do that, but it's not. It's a facade, right? And the best ones that make it look good are the ones that work hard, and they're skinny because they work hard, most of them, or they don't eat that much. And so when they go to eat, sometimes they're allowed, and they go, oh, look at that skinny bitch, she can eat whatever she wants. They don't. They might be eating what they want then, but they're going to sacrifice later. It's always a sacrifice. See, they've sacrificed to get rewards now, look like that. And the other one to just eat some, sat around, didn't have to work, had someone to help them out, got luck, and they abused it. They abused it. They got stuck on it for too long because it takes a while of abuse and doing it, not doing it, and then boom. And then you can get stuck in it and go, now I'm fat bastard. I eat because I'm impressed because he... And that's how, it's a little bit, I find that eating problem is a little bit like anorexia, but in the other way, and people haven't diagnosed it yet. It's a mental thing, because I've noticed some people around me, you speak to them, a lot of people change, but then some that don't. And you go, look, it's just this, like I said, with anorexia, it's this easy. You say it to certain fat people, you should stop, you should just change this. I like to eat, well, you can change your food, right? You don't have to quit something. The hardest things to like something, get used to it, and then have to be told that you can't have it ever again, that thing at all. Like, you can't have a cigarette ever again, not just a healthier one, which they've tried to do with vapes and stuff like that. That's the hardest thing to quit. Definitely if it gives you good feelings and stuff like that. But just changing something, all you have to do is change. That's one of the easiest things to do. And if you're struggling with that, well, imagine if you end up getting another problem like the other one, you know what you're more likely going to be. You're going to be the one definitely hooked and stuck. So you definitely don't want these people to get that far. Right? And that's what Emma is. And that's what I help her with certain things too. Because you don't want them to get that far. Otherwise, they'll get stuck in that too. It's easy for them. But anyway, I think that's about covering it all when it comes to bullying and fat and why people are fat and skinny and all those things. And it's best to just leave it alone, like the animal saying. If you don't like an animal, just leave it alone. And if you've got the real evidence, then use it. Real evidence is research. If you haven't researched, then don't speak. You see? The kids who speak quick and want to be cool and want to pick on those type of people and kids, right, will do that. And kids will definitely do it because they're learning stages. But you're meant to be, time to leave that high school, we're meant to at least know these standard priorities of what we should know, right? And they say we do, but then we're not. We must be failing. I don't even remember a test to make sure that we do. Did they do one? They don't do that, Emma.
You what, sir?
To make sure that you know the priorities about how to speak and about how to treat people. And if you do and go out there, you're a fool. But they don't actually do a test on that. You go, you make sure, what do you do if someone says this and this and that? Is that a part of an end-of-year test? It's not, is it? No, but it should, you see. And then they're going out in the real world, and they're actually priorities that you should know because it can screw it up real bad later if they have to self-learn without someone trying to give them some knowledge, which is what I'm trying to do now. But anyway, have a good one, and let me know in comments what you think, if I've forgotten anything or whatever opinions. And have a good one. See you later.